Hey, this is Greg and Drew from the Network Break podcast. What we want to do is bring you one story from this week's Network Break. It's Network Break 341, and we're talking about HPE acquiring Zerto and Ampool, Drew.
Yeah, so they're spending $347 million to acquire Zerto. Zerto does cloud backup and data management. It's an all-cash transaction, and Zerto is going to be part of HPE's GreenLake platform. So the idea is that you've got data either on-prem in the cloud. Zerto can back it up. They also talk about being able to help you recover from ransomware attacks.
Ransomware, hot topic this week. I looked into Zerto. It's a data protection service, so it's that usual sort of we used to call it backup software, as far as I can tell, but now we had to find new marketing verbs to describe the value and so forth. So HPE Enterprise announced the intent to acquire Zerto. Zerto's been around for a substantial period of time, startup out of Israel. Sort of missed its peak. I suspect that the investors who put the money into Zerto managed to take some profits out of the company before they decided to put it on the market and sell it. This is a tuck-in investment for HPE's GreenLake / Esmeralda platform. So GreenLake is the dynamic on-demand infrastructure. So they'll supply you with servers and storage and so forth, so that you can just pay as you use. So you can actually pay a subscription service to buy X number of VMs or X number of containers, and you do a contract with GreenLake and they'll sort all that out for you. And now what they're doing is adding to that infrastructure play as part of Esmeralda, which is click a button, here's my data recovery service, which is a natural tuck-in for that. And then the second part of this is also the acquisition of Ampool.
Yeah, Ampool is a cloud-native SQL analytics engine, essentially for data analytics. So it's going to be folded into HPE's Esmeralda analytics platform.
Yeah, so Ampool is basically a repackaging of Apache Geo, which is a single memory-centric data store. So it's an in-memory database that's able to do analytics from your SQL database. You basically plug it into your SQL or Hadoop or NoSQL data stores, deconstruct the database, analyze it, and get analytics about the business. So you can extract information about where deals are going down and what's going on. And again, this is just a small acquisition. This is a very small company. It has 6 investors with only $400,000 worth of funding over a fairly short period of time. And I imagine that the way that this is going to work is that HPE will be able to say, would you like, if you're in a public cloud, if you're in an off-prem proprietary cloud from, AWS or Google or Microsoft, they have data analytics services, and you just say, start making function calls, and there's a data analytics service. So the acquisition of Zerto and Ampool is HPE's Esmeralda saying, here's those functions that you want to have. Here's those services that you don't want to have to do. We're going to package them up, make them ready for you. Tell us that you want them. We'll deploy them on your on-prem infrastructure as part of your pay-as-you-go pricing, and there you go.
Yeah, I think it's really smart of HPE because it extends the whole value of GreenLake. Like the initial value proposition of GreenLake is you get a bunch of stuff, but you only pay for it based on usage. So it's essentially the cloud model, but on premises. And then they can add to the value, HPE can add to the value of that by saying, and in addition to you having these, compute, storage, and networking resources, we can now go up a higher layer and say, here's analytics as well. So it's an additional benefit for customers. Yep. It also makes GreenLake more sticky for HPE. So I think a smart acquisition.
Yeah, and it also differentiates them compared to, say, Dell or Cisco, who aren't providing dynamic supply of equipment and the software that runs on top of it. So you still see Cisco in particular is all about being in the off-premise cloud. They run it as a SaaS service off-premise. You can't have it on-prem. And Dell, of course, hasn't actually done any of this at all. It still wants to remain in selling the infrastructure. Being the arms dealer, doesn't want to actually be fighting the war for you, where HPE is definitely differentiating here. They continue to sell service and hardware for the people that want that, but they're also giving you a different way of consuming it. This is a genuine competitive position to build an on-premise cloud that looks and feels a lot like an off-premise cloud.
Yeah, again, I think it's a smart move.
Smart move, and it's differentiated.
Well, thanks for watching this YouTube quick hit from the Network Break. If you want to hear the full episode, just look for Network Break 341 over at packetpushers.net.
Thanks for listening.